Dudes, it's Gaz, and welcome back to another Warframe video. So today we have a review for the Valkyr rework. This has been out for about a month now, and there was a lot of controversy as this rework was being spoiled and shown along the way. So we'll be talking about how it shaped up in the end, how good is Valkyr, was it a good rework, and does she need more changes going forward? I'm going to go ahead and say it right now. I like her rework, but I definitely don't think that it's enough, and it probably will never be enough because there's a lot of other frames in this game that are just better than her that are melee focused too, so let's get right into it. Alright, so as far as the Valkyr rework and my personal thoughts on it, and a lot of opinions of the community as well, I do stream a lot on my live stream channel, and I get a lot of people asking and talking about Valkyr's rework on the in-game chat or stream chat and all that stuff too. So I have noticed a lot of players that are newer players really like Valkyr. Now, why is that? It's likely because we just got a new Valkyr heirloom skin right after Tennocon, and don't forget, at Tennocon, the free drop on the live stream was Valkyr. So we're going to get a lot of new Valkyr players in here, and also, Valkyr is pretty strong. I'm not going to say she's bad. She actually has some pretty powerful melee buffs with her new passive, giving 300% melee damage buff. And also, I believe her Warcry armor buff is very strong too. Now, that might not sound like a lot, and it's not. But she also has some new abilities, air quotes, new abilities. Her Rip Line got massively reworked, her first ability to pull enemies in. And now her third ability, Paralysis, is actually maybe worth casting sometimes nowadays. Beyond that, her Claws, her main feature, did not get changed that much. They got some stat bumps, I'm pretty sure. But we still have the issue with Valkyr where her melee claws, her exalt, the reason you would play Valkyr for a lot of people, that is not really up to the 2025 standards, okay? If we take a look at some of the other melee exalted, I would say that Valkyr has the worst melee exalted in the whole game. Now, let me know in the comments if you guys agree with that. But as far as melee exalted, let me try to remember all of them off the top of my head. So we got Wukong Prime Staff. Probably double the range of Valkyr's claws. Less damage per hit, but also got better status chance too, I'm assuming, so it can do melee influence a lot more reliably. Excalibur Prime, or Excalibur Normal, Excalibur Prime, Excalibur Umber, whichever one you have. Energy Blade with so much status chance that it's actually hilarious. I'm talking 600% status chance. So melee influence is definitely viable in Excalibur. Oh, also, Excalibur's sword, his energy waves for the sword go through walls, and they can do a lot of AoE damage. So just with two of them right there, you might see where this is kind of going. Valkyr's claws are extremely low range, the main issue with the rework to me. This rework did not change her main issue where she is a melee frame. That full stop. To me, that's an issue. Any frame that is focused on melee entirely is not a frame I am extremely excited for. I used to like melee frames more back in the day, but we have frames nowadays like Kullervo and Varuna who are melee focused, but can also do non-melee things as well. Kullervo could use his collective curse to link enemies up and can do a good epitaph headshot. Varuna gets, I believe, energy orbs from headshots or something like that, and she could also AoE spread procs too. Valkyr, the only thing you could say about her that's not melee focused is literally nothing. Everything on Valkyr is melee focused. Even her one forces you to do a melee attack after it. So that right there is a bad rework in my eyes. Okay, you might be like, wow, Gaz has called this rework bad. I'm saying that yes, it is bad because it is too hyper-specific. There should not be any frame of the game that is melees only. I think that's too limiting because, first off, that's 1/3 of the weapons in this game. Rough estimate. You got primary guns, you got secondary guns, and you got melees. A frame that's only for melees and only does certain things for melees, like Valkyr does, she doesn't give them more crit chance. She doesn't buff everything about melee, she only buffs specific things about melee. She buffs melee attack speed, melee damage, and then I think it gets damage vulnerability to melee. That is too specific for me. So that's what it really boils down to for a lot of people. It's okay, so this rework didn't really move the needle too much. It made her more tanky for, not being in her 4, as far as, walking around, because they buffed her base armor. She's good for, EDAs and stuff. But for level 10,000, it's okay, so you're expecting me to use this frame for level 10,000. Yes, I've done it multiple times since the rework, but at the end of the day, why are you picking Valkyr over another frame? There's not really... The main reason to do it, I guess, would be, the death gate, if you really like the melee attack speed. But reminder... Warcry, her attack speed buff is her helmet ability, so you could literally throw that ability on Kullervo. You could throw it on Wukong or Varuna, whoever, and that would be one of your options you could do. Now, that being said, it's not all about me. Just because I don't like to do melee frames doesn't mean that other people don't. So like I said, a lot of new players are really liking this. It might even be their first prime. If this is your first prime, you have so much armor on this character. You can mod for a lot of HP too. And like I said before too, people were freaking out. It's like, you can't HP tank at level 10,000. Yes, you can. Go watch my video on Valkyr if you don't believe me. You could face tank level 10,000 with armor. Armor and HP, just use Eclipse Helmet and it's extra DR. Really, really easy. So that part of the complaints was not really appropriate. So what it really boils down to, I think, is that DE decided that Valkyr's survivability, like, you know, her high armor, her high whatever, you know, mostly armor and her death gate, that was enough of a value proposition that they said no energy wave, like range attacks from Valkyr's claws. They might have 5.15 meters with prime reach, and if you want to put a second range mod, there's 7 meters if you're really, really trying to make it look good. 7 meter range with 2 range mods is just not cutting it in 2025. If you look at the background footage, I've been using the dual Icar and Karnan the whole time. For my playstyle, much, much better. I kill an enemy, clouds are left on the ground, enemies walk into the clouds and die. I'm killing enemies I don't even know exist, and the claws for Valkyr don't do that. The only way you do that is you like group enemies up with your 1, and that, at the same time, that's only like a limited range for that melee too. So, at the end of the day, I think that the Valkyr rework was not good enough. I think that it was a step in the right direction. There were some good changes in there, but yeah. It really just, it screams to me that DE needed to remove the invincibility of Valkyr's ulti because it was being like abused or something like that. Like, okay, they're exploiting it. They're AFK in the corner with slam attacks. Hey, stop that. Someone patched that out. That's kind of what it screamed. And alongside it, we got, to be fair, it was a decent trade-off because alongside we got actual good abilities for her 1 and her 3. I would maybe say her 3 is good. It's a little bit of a stretch. But mainly, the first ability is an actual ability, and I really like the first ability a lot. So, that being said, going forward, for Valkyr, I do think that she is strong. Like I said, she's very strong. But at the end of the day, why would you pick her over other frames? I would say that her new place is an EDA carry frame. We did an EDA the other day. She is really good for getting reses when no abilities are allowed. Like if you were to like do something like, I'm not going to say this build is necessarily the best. I'm also trying out Stretch instead of Eternal War. But like we have all this armor. We have 90% DR on our HP. And that's before I cast Warcry. So we can basically get easy reses in ETA no matter what. Additionally, the claws can be very, very strong. They hit very, very hard. But the problem with them is like, first off, they don't have the most status chance. So you're dealing with forced procs all the time. And additionally, they just have low range. Like straight up, they have low range. So that being said, I like Valkyr's new heirloom skin a lot too, so I've been rocking that for that reason alone. But if you guys have any good usage for Valkyr that you've been utilizing a lot, let me know in the comments down below. Again, I think that it was a little bit of overreaction from the community saying like, oh, you're taking our invincibility away. It's like, yeah, I think most invincibility in this game that's like that mindless is probably going to eventually get removed. Like, I would not be surprised if what's his name again? Revenant got nerfed at some point to his invincibility and Nyx's invulnerability. I would not be surprised. So either way, guys, that's basically it for the video. Let me know how you feel about the Valkyr rework in the comments down below. Do you think it's like not enough like I do? Like, I think a lot of people think it's not enough, but at the same time, DE moves on past these updates really, really quick. They go from update this to update that. Literally, Oberon's being reworked next. And if you didn't know, there's going to be an armor and HP rework in the Oberon update. So that could make Valkyr even, like, that could be an indirect buff to Valkyr. Actually, it would be more like a direct buff to Valkyr because she has the most armor in the game. So, yeah, because of that, I think that Valkyr has the potential to get even stronger in the future, especially for, like, being, like, the carry tank. Like, you just go and they're like, okay, good, we have a Valkyr. If everyone on the team dies, they're not going to die. They're going to res us all. That literally happened to me the other day in an ETA, and it actually is pretty nice to have a Valkyr for that reason alone. So, see you guys next time for your support. If you think there's any exalted melee that's worse than Valkyr's talents, be sure to let me know. I just couldn't think of one at the top of my head. So maybe we'll get an exalted glaive someday. That could be kind of nice. All right, guys. See you next time. Bye.